wise man once said, the will to win, the desire to succeed,
What takes guts is to put yourself on the line.
the urge to reach your full potential.
A leader makes the way.
These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success Resources is the world's leading events promoter of business, personal development, and wealth creation programs. For over 30 years, we've helped over 10 million people across 30 countries unlock their full potential. From North America, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, to Oceania, we are the key to your personal success. We open the door to the world's best speakers, such as Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and T. Harv Eker, to name a few. Praised by Donald Trump for being the world's best, we have over 500 events a year and access to the greatest thinkers, achievers, and motivators of our time. We guide you to the success that lies in every one of us.
But you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone.
You have to have confidence in yourself.
We have never really truly reached our destination. There's always another level to strive for. Your best is yet to come. Success Resources, your learning partners.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Friday is a favorite day for many of us. This is a day that, a day before a restful rest for the weekend. So welcome to another journey, Bitcoin journey to 100,000. Hopefully you guys are doing well and hanging in there for great times to come. So today is much better because Bitcoin is trading at 44,000, much better than last couple of days. Well, it is the fourth week of the Ukraine war. So everyone was asked the question, how is this war going to end? And what's happening to Bitcoin? So let's discuss today. Right, my name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. And we will be making video tracking the incredible journey of Bitcoin to 100,000. So if you are enjoying this journey and want to follow this journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel, thumbs up on the notification bell, and so that whenever we have a video, you will be the first to know. Now, I'm very delighted to bring my friend, Dr. Clemen, to the program. He's an authority on financial investing and a well-known teacher to many thousands and thousands of students all over the world in the area of wealth creation. Welcome, Dr. Clemen.
Yes, Richard, welcome back. Today we are on TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And you know, Tabby is right now is feeling very sleepy. I've just got to disturb his sleep. We are ready for a good show today, Richard. Yes.
Wow, welcome. So, Dr. Clemen, you know, the war has been happening in just Ukraine and make a big difference in the market and in the life of many people around the world. We have sanctions, we have people killed, we have refugee, so-called refugee right now. So, Dr. Clemen, can I ask you this question? That when if we discuss the war, everybody want to know how is the war going to end, right? So there's an article by Channel News Asia that says that don't expect war in Ukraine to end quickly. Can you comment on the situation, on this article and the situation?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, what I want to encourage all of our viewers today is to do just one simple thing. And I'm getting this ready right here. Tabby is just right next to me. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show all of us a really important kind of a show. Let me set it up clearly. Here we go. Do you know that, Richard, right now on Netflix, it is streaming a TV series that is starring the Ukrainian president, none other than President Zelensky. And I watched the first two episodes. It's like kind of a deja vu because the context of this Netflix series was filmed before he was elected as the president of Ukraine. And it was a big joke. In fact, the whole storyline was that the president of Ukraine was a puppet. There are higher forces controlling him, what to say, what to do each and every day. So his duty is just ceremonial. He has no political powers in that sense. So you watch this, and then you turn on to Channel News Asia or to CNBC or to Bloomberg, and you look at the real president, your mind get confused. Get confused because why? The backdrop is Ukraine is one of the most corrupted countries in the world, and we begin to understand, hey, how is this war going to play out? What is the end game? So without this context of the Netflix, and Netflix is pretty smart in the sense, they quickly beam out this Netflix series called The Servant of the People, while right now in the middle of the war. So many people are turning in to watch, and as a result, if I show you this news article from Channel News Asia, your mind start to think not so simple like in the past, a clear path. What do I mean by that? Step one, you watch the Netflix, Servant of the People, and you know the historical backdrop of the country, how the president previously was a comedian, and right now he's a real president fighting the war. And then you look at Putin staring at Zelensky in this picture here. Obviously, Putin has kind of underestimated his opponent. And that's the reason why the war is dragging out so long. But more importantly, I believe the power of the higher echelon, which is the United States of America, is fighting the war behind the scenes. That's why my belief is this war is going to be long drawn. It's not going to come to a clean conclusion, because this is an all-out effort to wipe out once and for all anyone that's close to the president of Russia, that is President Putin, and we are talking about the oligarchs. It is creeping in, and that is one of the key methods of to completely destroy his power base, destroy his access to money, and later on we're going to talk about how is the war directly related to Bitcoin as well. So, Richard, to answer your question, this is going to be long drawn, and that is how the American politics want to distract everybody from the real issue in homeland. They have a war to fight. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. So, Dr. Clemen, in our last session, we talked about Du Kong, the founder of Luna, right? And the article says that he's going to invest $3 billion to back up his UST, right? His stable coin. But then later on, you mentioned it's 10 billion. So it has been confirmed that he will be buying up $10 billion of Bitcoin to back up his UST. But
Terra USD, yeah.
UST. Okay, Terra. So there is an article that says that he already started buying. In fact, he's been buying Bitcoin, $125 million worth of Bitcoin every single day. And this is going to accumulate up to $10 billion. So my question to you is this, if we know that he's going to buy $10 billion and every day he's buying, shouldn't we go in and buy first, right? So that we are kind of ahead of him. What is your comment on that, Dr. Clemen?
Yes, absolutely spot on, Richard. You are very, very sharp in identifying the sequence of entry. So case in point, back on 12th of May 2020, together with our students, we went in to buy a huge chunk of Bitcoin, average price about $8,000 per coin. And we bought ahead of Michael Saylor. So I'm going to show you this tweet right here, very, very interesting. Michael Saylor used his company called MicroStrategy to buy up $3.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in total since its first purchase in 19 months ago. He started around the same year, 2020, but he was a few months late after us. He came in around, if I remember correctly, August, September. And he deleted all his tweets before that date. All right. So somehow he want to restart his Twitter account, and that's where we already got a past audit of whatever he posted. Now, through that, we really ride on the wave of Bitcoin from 8,000 all the way to back then the highest point, current all-time high, 69,000. Because of what? Michael Saylor pushing it up. And then together with Elon Musk also bought about 1.5 billion, all right? So you take Elon Musk and Michael Saylor, two of them combined, they contributed $5 billion worth of Bitcoin purchases, and they are single-handedly responsible for the price hitting 69,000 on an all-time high. All right, so this is step one. And in this step one, we consider that as wave one, the first wave. And of course, after every wave, there'll be a Red Sea. Like a tsunami, the water will suck out away from the beach and boom, the wave will come again, all right? So now we're going to witness the second wave. And the second wave is shown right here, mama. Now, Terra, or what we call UST, T for Terra, or we call it Terra dollar, announced plans to buy $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. That is 2x of what Michael Saylor and Elon Musk combined. That's 2 times, 2x, 100%, all right? So if they are coming in with this fresh purchase, and we have the audit trail of their purchase pipeline. In our last video, I explained it's a concept of a stock buyback, all right? And a stock buyback is every time someone buys a UST, Terra US dollar, what would happen is they will burn a Luna coin. And they kind of break it down. It's not 100% burn. They'll burn 60% of the Luna coin, and the other 40%, they will continue buy more and more Bitcoin, all right? So there's some algorithmic equation that's running behind. This is first in the world. So I shared this in our last video. So right now, I'm going to dissect this article. And it's really, really important why we need to understand the different players, what they're talking about right here. So this is what CZ of Binance has to say. It always feels like I'm late in crypto, but we are still in the early days. Really, this is really, really early days. We've got 5 billion MicroStrategy and Elon Musk, and then another 10 billion coming from Terra dollar. So this is really, really huge. And I don't want anyone to kind of miscalculate, because why? The Bitcoin price almost cleared 43.5 thousand. Right now, I'm looking at the chart. We kind of float above 44,000, back down right now, 43,990. This is the clearest signal coming from the marketplace, contribution from the Terra purchase, all right? So they are really picking out the pace right now is mind-boggling. $10 billion just to do one thing, to buy Bitcoin. And you're tracing back to yesterday, March 24th, hitting 43,000. Now, are we early or are we late, or are we just in time? So this is what we're going to dissect right here, okay? I'm going to move down from this article right here. Here we go. We're going to take a look at this very important paragraph. Terra, which has become a focus of attention over plans for a giant $10 billion Bitcoin allocation. Why? Step one, they are using Bitcoin as the digital hedge against their stable coin known as UST, US Terra, and has sent Tether from its alleged wallet worth almost $750 million at the time of writing. They are dropping USDT to support UST. So point number two, for those of you holding tons of USDT, time for you to migrate. Very, very clear. It is time for you to migrate. Don't sit on it, because you got to move with where the wind blows and the sail starts to set the direction. All right. So 2 points you're learning right here. And right over here, Dorcon at first give a $10 billion target for backing the firm's new United States dollar stablecoin, which is UST, followed by $3 billion in an interview on the weekend. But on Tuesday, he confirmed and reconfirmed that the ultimate goal was 10 billion. Now, when they make a declaration like this, they come back out. I want you all to know, in the crypto community, words like this is very, very important, all right? They are held accountable. In fact, they'll put it down on the blockchain so that forever nobody can change the script on what he just said. And that's the reason why this is very, very big. 2 times of Michael Saylor and Elon Musk combined together, right? So I'm going to scroll down right over here, and you can see everybody start to do their price projection. Bitcoin moving here, and then we enter the Red Sea, kind of pop above the Red Sea, and then right now, this point, if we have the purchase of the support of $10 billion to support the purchase of Bitcoin, this has to move up. But it cannot move up overnight. I need you all to understand. Give you case in point. Michael Saylor bought at the rate of 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin per second. To remain stealth back then, all right, he was keeping everything stealth, and slowly he started to make his announcement via Twitter and public announcement via his public company. This one already told the whole world, I'm going to buy 10 billion. People knew about it. So there'll be some parties that will jump ahead of the bandwagon and say, hey, I better buy ahead before Terra goes and buy the Bitcoin. So this contribution right now at 44,000, 3 different parties. Party number 1, you saw the name Don Con just now, representing Terra. They already started the purchase because they need to excite their community. That's point number 1. Point number 2, the FOMO group, fear of missing out. They will jump ahead of the bandwagon and they start calculating and imagining, oh, there's a $10 billion purchase. I better buy before them. Boom. They continue to push the price up. The third one is the one that we are most interested in, the institutional buyers. So the institutional buyers, some already entered into the foray. Some of them are waiting for signals. Some of them are just hanging around President Joe Biden, trying to influence the man. What are your thoughts about Bitcoin? Because you got to make a stand soon. And why? Because Bitcoin is going to be one of the conduits that Russia will be using to bypass the sanctions imposed of them. All right? So we got 3 layers right here. Really, really exciting period of time. And I don't think, we can repeat history like this. And that's the reason why when you are watching the video series today, you are getting the direct impact as the news translated out. We dissect for you, decipher the mystery messages, and here you go. Back to you, Richard.
Here, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, last couple of days, the financial world noticed that one of the biggest financial institution in the world, we are talking about Goldman Sachs, right? They changed their website like a crypto company. But if every one of you recall, in our last program, we shared with all of you that Goldman Sachs actually were the first financial institution to make an over-the-counter transaction. And then now they have changed their website into a crypto website, which to me, I felt very, very unusual for a bank. You look at all the bank, they are the bank. But Dr. Clemen, can you share with us, do you think, just now you mentioned about FOMO, fear of missing out, do you think, it looks to me like the bank, the financial institution are having this FOMO? But can you comment on this? Can you just share with us, what do you think and what's happening in Goldman Sachs and why they are doing this?
Yes, Richard. In fact, Richard, you are the one who spotted the difference. And I kind of, wow, I said this is mind-boggling because why? We never seen a traditional bank like a Goldman Sachs moving into digital world in the manner that they did. Now, first, the context behind Goldman Sachs. They are typically the underwriter for the largest IPOs on planet Earth. Now, if I use the word underwriter, I want you all to understand. Underwriter means they will always be the guys with the first-hand information. So imagine, back then in Facebook going for IPO, Goldman Sachs was one of the appointed underwriters. They were part of the process, preparation for the prospectus, doing the road shows, getting all the institutional buyers to buy in. They already knew what is about to happen, all right? So Richard kind of found the cat was let out of the bag in the sense that this is GoldmanSachs.com, this website, all right? And it is very, very interesting. I need to zoom in. The first look, I kind of missed it. I saw the word digitalization and with the word inside. And then I didn't read the second subparagraph. I'm going to zoom in right now and show you what it's talking about here. From cryptocurrencies to the metaverse, explore the mega trends that are reshaping economies. Wow! How could this even appear on the homepage of GoldmanSachs.com? And we are talking about two major keywords here, cryptocurrencies, as if it's already green light everywhere. And talking about metaverse, as if everybody is already stepping into Roblox world. I'm going to click right now into this part here called Explore Topic. Click on it. And here we go. It has already published papers or white papers known for Metaverse and Web 3.0. And everybody is already fighting on the nuances, the definition. What exactly does Web 3.0 stands for? What exactly is Metaverse? So Jack Dorsey came out with his version that kind of a fight against the traditional hedge fund players, and everybody is trying to hold their ground, all right? Goldman Sachs actually published a report on this. And then if we go down right over here, really, really interesting, the next tech battleground, online gaming and metaverse, all right? They're giving you the clue already. Next one, framing the future of Web 3.0 metaverse edition. Next one, understanding the metaverse and Web 3.0. Wow, it's huge. This is huge coming from a bank's perspective. And of course, it doesn't stop right there, because we also gone through the announcement on a Wednesday live stream. Goldman Sachs and Galaxy Digital announced milestone over the counter crypto trade. They already started trading as if they already knew what regulation would have been passed through, as if they already knew which company about to ring the bell for IPO. And I bet they are preparing the IPO for FTX. They are probably the front runner for Gemini.com, and you see their names everywhere. So they are truly at the forefront, and that's the reason why the takeaway from this question from Richard is that, why did they change their homepage design? GoldmanSachs.com, please take a visit, take a look. This is a first in the world. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, we are, in this Ukraine war and Russia-Ukraine war, one of the big sector that has been affected is the petroleum, right? Oil and gas, etc. Right? So because of the sanction and Russia exporting lots of oil to Europe, and Europe are kind of depending on Russia. So there's a lot of emphasis on petrol and gas industry. Now there's an article just yesterday that ExxonMobil, which is the world's largest oil company, are getting into the crypto world by using their excess natural gas that will otherwise be burned off, to mine Bitcoin. So my question to you, Dr. Clemen, is this, that ExxonMobil being one of the largest company in the world, why are they getting into crypto? And you see that more and more companies getting into crypto?
Yes, Richard, really, really great question. And, we start off by looking at ExxonMobil. We are shareholders of this company. Very, very proud to share about this, because they are doing a really, really fantastic job led by a great CEO. And that's the reason why in this current energy crisis, we have a rising crude oil. Every country is begging all the crude suppliers to increase output. And when you have such a phenomenon happening and you own the oil, you will say, hey, mama, let the price go up. I want to make just pure profit from the same amount of volume I pump out every single day. I'm making more and more money. Very simple logic. So you can go on back borrow steel and ask the oil suppliers to pump more oil, I don't think it's going to happen. They want to see the price to go up. This is the golden opportunity. All right. So let's set the context right. This is the step one of the context. But what we are driving over here is the fact that if there's excess natural gas, can we use it to mine Bitcoin? And so a few things already happened. A few clear examples. For example, in El Salvador, they are already using the heat from the volcano, live volcano, to mine Bitcoin. But over here, the real urgency is because Russia could sell gas for Bitcoin, says the Energy Committee chief. And this is one of the conduits that Russia wants to bypass the sanctions. Russia considers accepting Bitcoin for oil and gas. Now, if that is true, and I believe it's already happening, all right, because this will all drive towards another three other major thinkings. Thinking number one is found right here. Perhaps our dependency on oil and gas is much too high, and that's the reason why on 22nd of March 2022, the Singapore government announced that nuclear energy could help Singapore's power sector achieve a net zero carbon emissions by 2050. In fact, every country out there is rushing towards this net zero carbon emission by 2050, not just Singapore. But if this is true, you can straight away use Singapore as a case study in the sense that I want to show you this image. This is a really fascinating research right here. And what they are already kind of a preempt is, if Singapore is going to have a nuclear plant, then where is the exact location? It must be situated within a 5 kilometers to 30 kilometers radius away from Singapore. This is already found in researchgate.com, where scholarly papers are being published. We already thought about it. All right. So if Singapore already thought about it, then for sure, many other countries are thinking about it. Now, this is point number one. Then point number two, we come back right over here. If this is true, then what we should really be studying is there an actual threat to the petrodollar system? You see, every country out there buying crude oil, we are using US dollars, known as the petrodollars. And right now, looks like Bitcoin is the number one threat to the petrodollars. Not just the renminbi, but Bitcoin itself. So we are really excited about this piece of news, and thereby bring you point number three, and that is right over here. Why are we not using all this excess energy to mine Bitcoin? If you take all these tripartite ideas and combine it together, where is the central theme? Let me give you the central theme. Bitcoin will truly live up to its really powerful philosophy of decentralization. And that's why everybody is looking to this coin as the gatekeeper. Do not let any other countries to kind of challenge their sovereignty or to weaponize sanctions against their adversaries. Bitcoin will be the clear choice. Now, if Bitcoin is truly the clear choice, then all the excessive energy out there could be assembled to mine Bitcoin to make it more efficient. But thereby leading to the year 2050, I mean, we are talking about like 30 years away from now. I pray God that I'll have a great health to live through that generation to witness that carbon neutral, emission free 2050. What will happen? Bitcoin with a fixed supply of 21 million units will live at its highest peak in 2050. Yes, back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday. Friday is question and answer day. So if you have a question for Dr. Clemen, please key in the chat, Q&A chat, so that we can answer your question. So Dr. Clemen, let's talk about adoption. This program, Bitcoin Journey to 100,000, is not my magic or myth. It is based on sound economic factor. So just now you brought up this Russia collecting announced that they are willing to sell their gas and oil for Bitcoin because sanction against them by the West and US dollar and euro, etc. So they are willing to collect Bitcoin. Now, does that mean that country that's going to buy? Does it mean that country that's going to buy oil and gas from Russia, has to own Bitcoin? I mean, a lot of countries are buying from Russia, right? They have lots of these natural resources, which is very, very valuable, gas and this oil. So country got to buy, technically country got to buy Bitcoin so that they can buy from Russia. And my question to you is, if that is so, that means every country must own Bitcoin. I mean, those countries that want to buy from Russia must own Bitcoin. And if they are going to buy Bitcoin, right, then it will affect the Bitcoin price. What do you think, Dr. Clemen?
Yes, Richard. Actually, it already started at the grassroots level. I mean, crude oil, we are really talking at the highest level. Let's go back a bit more to the ground level. We're talking about food commodities like wheat. Hang on a minute. My guy just climbed up again. Look, he's going to the moon. So first of all, on the ground, if you talk about wheat to produce bread, milk, and so on, people are already trading using cryptos. And this was started really because of the crisis right now in Ukraine. And that's why all their fundraising, their Kickstarter is to receive in cryptocurrencies. All right. So point number one at the ground level. Then you move up one more level. We are talking about nickel, lithium, the raw commodities like copper. And because of the sanctions and which the US and their allies weaponized the SWIFT and imposed sanctions on Russia, I believe transactions are already taking place in cryptocurrency because this is really the loophole at the moment. And then we move up to the highest level. That is the crude oil. That is the real big revenue chunk. So to answer your question, Richard, it goes this way. Those who want to get what we call the Great Singapore Sale or the Great Russia Sale, they will rush to buy oil from Russia by bypassing the sanctions. How do they do that? Pay in Bitcoin. That is the currency of choice because Russia was teasing everybody. You want to buy my oil? No problem. You pay in rubles. But rubles have dropped so much in value, it's worthless on its own. But meanwhile, for Bitcoin, because no one controls it, the value will keep going up, appreciation through time. And there's a fixed supply of 21 million units. So this is right now not a tested idea. I believe at the ground level, yes, already happened, but he wants to use this to send the message to all other countries who do not believe in the sanctions and want to get a great discount on Russian oil. They are probably paying in Bitcoin. Back to you, Richard.
Oh, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have to dissect this yourself. If country is going to buy Bitcoin or own Bitcoin to buy oil, you got to really, really digest this. What is the impact, right? So, Dr. Clemen, also on adoption, last week we talked about, city accepting Bitcoin as tax payment. Looks like, there are many cities are already doing that, like, Florida and I think Colorado, etc. So what do you see this segment of adoption whereby city adopt Bitcoin, to accept Bitcoin as tax payment, and especially in America?
Yes, this is huge. Okay, gone crazy, gone up again. Hey, come down. He wants to play with me right now. Okay, come on. Hang on a minute. Yeah, you go. All right. That's how this cat gets my attention. Look at the face. The owner and the cat looks like it's the same. Okay, go. Okay, so we are talking about right here, tax collection in Bitcoin. This is huge. Two names that we need to get acquainted with. First, Colorado became the first US state to do so, calling it a logical path to digital statehood. And typically at a country government agency level, if they kind of approve it, they have already thought through already. They already have the politicians to help them push through the agenda. The second one will be Florida. And that's why the Bitcoin conference is held in Miami, right in the land of Florida. All right. So I think there's going to be a big discussion during the conference. They have also invited politicians, and one of them is the president of El Salvador, President Bukele. And I want to show the latest tweet by the President Bukele himself. Is kind of aggressive, but he will kind of communicate the sentiments about Bitcoin and why they are so supportive of Bitcoin, right? I hope to find the right tweet. And here we go. Right here. I think this conveys clearly what everyone is thinking about. This is the official Twitter account of the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. He'll be speaking at the Miami Bitcoin conference. And I read to you word for word. The US government does not stand for freedom. And that is a proven fact. So we will stand for freedom. Game on. Bitcoin is FU money. All right. So you are reading it right now. And you can see he attached two bills right here. Never in my wildest dream would I have thought that the US government would be afraid of what we are doing here. They are so afraid. Anybody in the world that's going to bypass the US dollar, that's going to bypass the US petrodollar, that is the number one fear. And I believe that is also one of the triggers of the war that we see right now at this moment. Yes, Richard, this is a really moment in time in history. We're going to see the forces of good versus evil. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, Dr. Clemen, in our last program, we have an article that says that Malaysia, one of the minister in Malaysia, there's a communication minister in Malaysia, are recommending that to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender in Malaysia. Now, today we find another article that another ministry, which is the finance ministry will not recognize Bitcoin as legal tender. So one ministry recommend, the other ministry object. So what is your comment on this kind of situation where the technical people want to support cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, however the financial people does not want because they want control? So what is your comment on this?
Yeah, Malaysia is really, really complicated to understand as a country because the politics is yes, they have gone 50 years backwards because of the recent politics. Everything that they worked so hard for, believing in the core values of meritocracy, has changed the country. So, I mean, we have to really get used to the fact that there will no longer be so-called official statements, because even prime ministers can change at times. So you have, on Wednesday, we're just so proud of the fact that Malaysia is going to look at legalizing Bitcoin as a legal tender. And today, Friday, 2 days later, they have a about turn. Now, among the grassroots, not from me or Richard or from anyone else, I think from among the grassroots, typically what the ground people will tell you is, oh, perhaps certain departments not get paid yet. We just take it as that. So this is two ministries contradicting each other. Who is the real political master? We got no idea, because everything right now is kind of in a stalemate until the next big election. So of course, the next big election on the ground level, they're already predicting who will be the next prime minister, none other than someone who is convicted for embezzlement, for stealing the people's money, and he's in the front line right now to be the next prime minister of Malaysia. So it's a very, very difficult topic to talk about. Unless you have friends in Malaysia or relatives in Malaysia, then you know the intricacies of the countries, and it's beyond our imagination. All right, so just have to keep pace with their development. That's all I can comment.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, before we go to Q&A, I got an announcement to make. Now, every one of us, we know that Dr. Clemen is going to the Miami conference, right? And preparation, etc. And also that take time, and between US and some of us here, there's a time zone different. So there's a time zone different, and also the long conference. So this coming Monday, Dr. Clemen will do a session. After that, we will have 2 weeks off, right? Now, also, we have learned so much about Dr. Clemen. And, for the last 100 over weeks, he has been committing to 3 times a week, to share with us all this knowledge. But after April, due to Dr. Clemen's time, we will only be doing once a month, every Monday. Yeah. So after this coming Monday, the next we will rest for the next 2 weeks, and then on the 18th of April we will continue. Now we are committed to follow this journey up to Bitcoin 100,000. So we pray that quickly we hit 100,000 so that we can take a break, or we change our target again to 250,000 or 500,000 to 1 million. So this is the announcement. So this coming Monday, we will have a session, and then on the 18th of April. Okay. So anyway, thank you for your support. So let's get to the question and answer. Okay. Question from the participant. Okay. So question from Swen Smith. Swen Smith. Now, Swen Smith asked a question. It's a very interesting question here. Is that when Terra is buying Bitcoin to back up its UST wolf and have this burning mechanism, and his question is, if you have a certain amount of money, should we buy Terra 50-50 or Bitcoin? Your thought. So, Clemen.
Okay, so I think
you buy Terra or Bitcoin?
Yeah. So
Luna.
So most people have misconception. There are 3 concepts right here, right? So we have Luna as a coin, a backing mechanism to support what we call a stock buyback program. And number 2, you have a UST, Terra US dollar, all right, which is a stable coin. We never buy a stable coin one because it is a stable coin. Forever, it will remain 1:1. Means 1 UST equals to 1 US dollar, or 1 USDT equals to 1 US dollar. No point buying a stable coin other than holding it to quickly buy into the cryptocurrency that you want. But because of the evolution in the crypto exchanges in the past, majority of them don't accept US dollars. That's why, like my generation, we started trading in cryptos using USDT as a stable coin pegged against the 1:1 into the US dollar. But over time right now, if you go to Gemini, go to FTX, go to Coinbase, you can store your US dollars on the crypto exchange. It is so easy. So the relevance of the stable coin, will it go up, play an important role, stay the same or go down, is for you to think about. But there's no money to be made. Forever, it is 1:1. All right, so we clear the concept of UST and USDT. Then we go to the third concept of Bitcoin. So why is the Terra owner committed to buy $10 billion worth of Bitcoin? Because they are giving the confidence to their very own stablecoin. They say, my stablecoin is pledged against the holdings of the Bitcoin that we're going to buy from the market. Now, USDT did not do that. And that's the reason why they are so, I mean, there are many words to describe that. You can either call them smart, shrewd, or crafty, or whatever words. All of their backing of whatever USDT circulating in the marketplace today are simply just commercial papers. Just papers. And most of these commercial papers are coming out of China. So think harder about that. All right, so totally it's like there's no equivalent. And that's the reason why I believe, number one, Terra USD want to usurp the leading position of USDT by giving the community the confidence. My coin is backed by Bitcoin. All right. So I already given you all the formula. Michael Saylor plus Elon Musk is only 5 billion. Terra alone is 10 billion. That's 2x of whatever been bought in the past. Bitcoin should go up if they realize their $10 billion purchase. All right. How fast they buy, we do not know yet. In the past, it's like 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin per second. Terra may buy even more aggressively. That depends on their game plan. But I share with you, some people jump the bandwagon, buy ahead of Terra. All right. So that's why price already start to move. When is their big move? Nobody can tell, only the owners. All right. They can plan a big move in October or next year or during the presidential election. Nobody knows. It depends on the game plan. So to sum it up, stable coin, you never buy to make money because you can't make money. All right, so that's out of the picture. Number two, Bitcoin, we've been preaching over more than 100 episodes. If you still don't own Bitcoin today, I don't know what else you want to own, because this is your inflation hedge. This is your interest rate hedge. This is a hedge against sanctions so far to the Russians, all right? And finally, back to Luna. Now, Luna is just to serve a secondary role to stabilize this price volatility between Terra USD and Bitcoin. That's the purpose. So if you see that as valuable, then of course you may want to think about, oh, they're going to keep burning the Luna coins, the supply will reduce in the marketplace. As a consequence, the price will go up. I don't look at it this way. Crypto, you must own the core coins. The secondary altcoins, take it slow. Always own the core coin first, because like what CZ said, we are still in early days. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. So we have a question from Leo Lai. Leo asked this question: is DeFi platform safe to invest? And if yes, how does DeFi Exchanger make money and and pay us?
So for DeFi, is decentralized finance, is 100% decentralized. I mean, recently we have one student wrote into us and say his MetaMask wallet got hacked, and can a DeFi or this decentralized exchange change his wallet address? I said, that's impossible. Why is it even called decentralized exchange to begin with? All right. Because there's no one controlling it. It's all based on smart contract. Once they code it out, no one can change the contract. It's a golden rule. So in that sense, of course, they will have their means to make money for decentralized exchange and to pay you out in terms of the yields that you want to generate. This yields is all algorithmically calculated. How many people went in to buy, who went in to buy first, how long they stake their coins. There's a formula, very complex formula calculating it. And every time that you stake your coin, they really take a cut, 0.1% or 0.2%, depends on different DeFi projects, how they charge you. So that's how they keep it sustainable forever. It will be self-running, no different from OpenSea. They're selling NFTs out there. Every NFT owner forever will make money, because every time there's someone transacting on an NFT, they take a 10% creative fee out of the sale charge. This 10% goes back to build the NFT project. So it is the same concept, all right? So you guys don't have to worry how they make money. What you should really be concerned about, do not get into rug pull. Rug pull are scam projects. They created it just to scam you from day one. And there are many scam projects out there. And that's the reason why, we teach in our cryptos trading masterclass, number one, you must make sure the smart contract has been audited by a third party. The audit is super important. Think of the audit like your KPMG, your big four accounting firm going in just to check for fraud. So if they put a green tick and say, okay, pass the audit, there's no loopholes in the smart contracts, no one can go and change it, then that's the first test. The second test is the community. The community plays a huge role. Everybody look out for everybody, check blind spot. And typically most of the DeFi projects, you can't even know who's the owner. Why would you invest in something you don't even know who's the owner, right? So they can give you very great returns, but they can also disappear overnight, right? So that's something requires intelligence of the community to really go and check, double check, change notes, swap notes, and then you go in with the confidence. And the third part is really whole ideology between earning interest is to buy time. You should really make money from the original underlying instrument that you buy, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum. That should be the real money you should be making on, not the interest. The interest is to buy time so that you, over time, while you're waiting for the core price to appreciate, you are still collecting rental income. But it's small money to us, right? So it depends on how you want to play it. But you know, many of the old folks, they are very attracted, like 3% fixed deposit, they'll start queuing outside Bank of China. I don't get it. Those are the old generations. New generations, this kind of numbers don't attract them anymore. Yes, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Leo, I hope, Mr. Leo, I hope Dr. Clemen have answered your question, but you have another question. Just so I'm going to read this question to Dr. Clemen. This is in a recent article, Facebook or Meta platform has filed 8 trademark applications for crypto and metaverse goods and service. So question to you, Dr. Clemen, is what does this mean to all of us?
But 8 is, first of all, to file only just 8 is really insignificant. If you all want to go by patents, the real benchmark in the world today is this company called Qualcomm. If you all remember back in the days of 3G or CDMA networks, Qualcomm simply make money just by selling their patents to all the telcos in the world. They hold the highest number of patents. If I remember correctly, more than 1,000 patents, right? So that is the real number. I mean, less than 10 is really insignificant. 100 is also kind of insignificant. We're talking about at least few hundreds to 1,000 patents. And it's not trademarks. It must be a patent. All right, trademarks, people are still infringing it day and night or every day. You can only sue the guy who is rich enough to pay you. Right? So, I mean, just like between Richard and myself, we got so many imposters of our brand name. You know how many people fake my Twitter account, Facebook account just to scam people? But you know, it's a no end. There's no end to the amount of scammers out there. So you just have to be careful. So back to Facebook right now, the stock price is being trashed, and this is at probably the all-time low and still trying to find its way up. And the only way they can find their way up is to invest heavily into metaverse, because they sold this vision that metaverse will dominate the world. But it's not going to happen overnight. Maybe 5 years, 10 years, and also depends on who's the political master. Because the political master drives the wind. Right now, overnight, everybody just can't wait to get their hands on an electric vehicle. Why? Gasoline in certain states of US already shot up to $6. Record high, $6. We're talking about back then $4, already complaining $5, now it's $6. So winds of change, because of these crazy sanctions against Russia, crude oil went up, everybody started to appreciate the true value of an electric vehicle. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, the next question, we have 2 more questions. The second last question is this, from Nikki Wong. Nikki asked the question that, and this is a question, Ethereum founder worry that crypto has a lot of dystopian potential if implemented wrong. So, Nikki, just want your opinion.
What is the dystopian that Nikki wants to ask?
Sorry about that. I even got Google what's the meaning of that.
But what is the real reason why Nikki asked this question, right? So maybe Nikki, you rephrase the question. We go to the next question first. Okay.
Nikki, please rephrase the question. Okay. Yeah. So if you want the answer, then there's a question. So this is a very interesting question. Anish Ward made this comment. He says Robert Kiyosaki had mentioned that there will be a big crash coming, even bigger than the 2008 Lehman Brothers crash. So are we past it, or we have it in the future? Now, maybe Dr. Clemen, before you answer this question, I know Robert for many years. I think 30 years, we have been working with him. He has been predicting this several times. So this is not the first time that he had done that. He's predicting this several times already, you know. So that is the comment I want to make first. Then now, Dr. Clemen, can you answer this question? Are we past this one, or we are having it in the future?
Yeah, so first of all, I cannot answer on behalf of our Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's highly respectable. You know, I respect him highly. He also influenced my thinking because of his book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So, you know, if you want to know his thoughts about the Great Crash, you always go to the source. I will just answer from my own perspective, nothing to do with my analysis of what Robert Kiyosaki is thinking about. US has always been resilient. From 1929, the Great Depression, fought through World War I, World War II, and we've gone through so many crises. In my time of 20 years investing, the first crisis, in the very first year I started investing, was a dot-com crash. Can you imagine? First time you enter the market crashed in front of you. And then 2001, we have the 9/11. Right? Out of nowhere, terrorists decided to go and crash their planes against the buildings, and then the buildings came crumbling down. And the president of the United States, George Bush, wants to take a revenge. I think philosophically, he wants to give an outlet of the grievances to the American people. So what did he do? What did he do? 2003, invaded Iraq. What's the reason? Weapons of mass destruction. But that is a bloody joke. There's no weapons of mass destruction. He went in to just take over Iraq like this, drop bombs and kill people, right? So you talk about freedom, that's the definition of freedom by American standards. 2003 market kind of dropped. And then fast forward 5 years, 2008, financial crisis, 2008. I went through that whole boom, just dropped overnight. Some of my friends got bankrupted. And it's a terrible time because most people who are on mortgage payment couldn't pay up. And they lose their properties, they got sued for bankruptcy and all that. That was 2008. Fast forward 2008, right now we arrive in 2020, the pandemic crash. Nobody expected it. Market just dropped overnight. Oil for the first time traded at negative $37 per barrel. 2020, fast forward to 2022, we have first time in my generation, real as in real countries fighting Russia invasion to Ukraine. In my generation, I mean, I see like real fight, not like US invasion of Iraq. Iraqis all raise their white flag, don't even want to fight. They all start running away, right? So this is the real fight. Prolonged, drawn out war, Russia and Ukraine. So we've gone through so many things. And you ask me whether what Robert Kiyosaki said, is it true or not? One day, whatever he said will come true. The question is which day? Right? It can be tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And because of what he's been saying for so many years, and you guys heard from Richard, right? Robert has been saying for so many years, he's the Dr. Gloom or Dr. Doom and Gloom and whatever. One day his prophecy will come true. But for me as a portfolio manager of a hedge fund, prophecy is of no value until you get the timing right. Timing is most important. I can say confirm, there'll be a crash 50 years from now. Which year? I cannot tell you. Then what's the point? I'd rather tell you what I know. Everything that we analyzed today, 25th of March, all the way until 8th of November, I can predict. Because I know who's in power. After 8th of November, that depends on the midterm election, whether Democrats are in power or the Republicans are in power. And I think I'm very blessed. This season of my life, I start to have friends who are in political office, and I can get grassroots feedback from them easily and just to find out on the ground what is really happening. So to sum it up, that's a great question. But my advice to all of you, you are going to read books, you're going to come across many personalities. Always find out from the source. Now, you try to ask me to comment about him, I'm not comfortable because then you go to Robert Kiyosaki and say, hey, Dr. Clemen Chiang said you said this. I don't like that. I'd rather you say Dr. Clemen Chiang said this and nothing to do with you. It's fine on that, okay? But most importantly, how about you? What's your own analysis? You hear so many things, you still have to take a position. That is what truly counts. Yes, Richard, we are done on TGIF.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, now before we finish, let me just remind everyone again that our next session will be on Monday. After that, Dr. Clemen will be traveling, and then the next section in April, the first session in April will be on the 18th of April. So there you are, today's Bitcoin journey to 100,000. We do our best to research facts and data from the market and present to you. With the facts and data, you can make informed decisions for your financial future. Remain bullish on Bitcoin. Secret to success is to wake up early, work hard, and own Bitcoin. So have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Thank you and God bless. Thank you so much.
We believe that investing in our education
has the highest leverage and is the greatest equalizer.
Regardless of background, everyone can have the same opportunities in education.
We believe in doing what is right, not what is easy.
We believe in anything that is worth doing, we do it with passion and excellence.
We believe that happiness is the key to success.
If you love what you're doing, you're already successful. And that both success and failure are temporary, worth sharing about and even celebrating.
That said, we believe we have had our fair share of both.
Yay!
We believe that when the market is tough, we can be tougher.
We believe the best product should win, not the best sales pitch.
We believe that winners are winners because they don't quit.
We believe that the biggest sin is to make learning boring.
We believe in making decisions and owning our results.
We believe in innovation to continue to provide value to all around us.
We believe that together, everyone achieves more.
We believe that real leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders.
We believe that we can learn from our competitors.
We believe that women work harder, do better, and are more committed.
We believe it's okay to be proven wrong.
It's okay to change your mind.
And it's okay to cry when you're having a really rough day.
We believe in giving everyone the benefit of the doubt.
We believe in always saying please and thank you.
We believe that if dreaming is free, then we should dream big.
And then working hard to achieve it.
We believe that if we have knowledge, it's our duty to pass it down.
We believe that we shouldn't teach something we ourselves don't believe in.
We believe it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
We believe in saying sorry and meaning what we say.
We believe in being high-tech, means adding a human touch.
We believe that no one has all the answers.
Not even us.
But we go find out and we learn.
We believe that learning never ends, and once you stop learning,
you start dying.
We believe that one person
or one great idea can change the world.
That's why we believe in helping you grow and succeed.
And with your help, we can change lives globally.
We believe.
We believe. We believe.
Thank you for your belief in us.